I ask for the truth on behalf of Mark Holder concerning relationship issues. What's this all about? Is it a case of lack of relationships that's going on in one? What's this about? I ask for guidance and insight in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth always. We'll just cut the deck for you there, Mark, and I'll just move things to the side here. I'll deal out 3 cards. The first card we deal is in the possession of the recent past. That's a period of time roughly around about between now and this time last month. You could say over the past 28 days. I usually say a moon phase behind. About a month. That's roughly what it is. And then the next card is the present. So that says what's going on now. That tells us what energy is vibrating now. And then the energy that vibrates between now and this time next month, we place there. That's the immediate future. So we've got the recent past influence, the present influence, and the immediate future influence. Let's just see what has been going on recently here from a relationship point of view. We'll just get the first card here, just flip it nice and slowly, not to disturb its energy, and indicating there that darkness was on the horizon, darkness was looming on the horizon there. The energy of the raven has been vibrating there, touch of darkness. Notice how I always focus on the outline of the raven, because you can't see the raven in the darkness, so there has to be some sort of deliberate outline to separate the raven from the darkness, although the raven is within it. And maybe I sort of sense as though that may be the type of relationship that you're in, or the relationship type of the reason why you've been able to get a relationship off the ground or whatever. Your question wasn't really specific in what sort of aspect of relationship, but certainly we're looking at something very dark here, something more to do with uncertainty. But the sort of sense is that you're prepared to mess with the darkness, mess with uncertainty, in the sense of take a gamble. Maybe is that wise, or is that just a risk worth taking accordingly? But notice the skull is the thing that's clear there, which is of course the remnants of what was prior, or what was prior to its current form. As if something has been eaten away, as if something has been taken. Why am I sort of sensing here as though something was taken away from you, as if you feel as though something or somebody was taken away from me, either through natural causes or through somebody else taking her away. Why am I sort of getting that? I don't know. Just looking at that card, I don't sort of feel anything sinister in any way though, but certainly something uncomfortable has recently been looming there. Let's, as it says, let's just flip the next card to see what's there now though. The Knight. That's a turn up for the books for you, the cards, as you could say. The Knight is triumph over adversity. His energy there helps you to fight your corner. I suppose, although a two-edged sword, remember, with the sword it's two-edged, so remember what goes out can come back on you as well. But the shield is there to protect you, he's there to protect as well. But can only protect himself from somebody else's two-edged sword and make that sort of go back and bounce back on whoever it is he's protecting himself from. He can't really, I suppose, protect you from your own if you end up falling on your sword. we've got a Prime Minister who's accused of falling on her sword and missing, if you get what I mean, which is, you don't know which is the worst of the worst. And in a similar sort of sense, I'm sort of getting that, not that, but that sort of thing where you've come out okay on the other side. Whatever darkness loomed, you've triumphed over it. You've sort of like coped with it. You've dealt with it. Maybe that's what it is. It's as if you sort of, as if you were finding it hard to accept, and maybe the triumph, the adversary in this case, as it's triumph over adversity, the adversary is maybe your own guilt, or your own feeling of disappointment, or confidence, or whatever it is. You've overcome it. It's been a personal struggle. I'm sort of getting there. Let's just see though what's just around the corner for the next month. Between now and this time next month, the next 3 or 4 weeks or so, you could say. We'll just flip the card as the clock just strikes the 4th hour, the ungodly hour. But maybe the world starts rising. Notice that you've got the black cat, indicating there that
it's 4 o'clock.
That your luck will soon change in some in some department there. Take your pick which clock is right. But either way, and notice there's a bit of an Egyptian sense going on, a bit of an Egyptian feel going on, Egyptian energy. The Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, revered cats, didn't they? If you killed a cat, it was an instant death sentence for those found guilty, of course, and that was in today's sort of witches are used. The cats are the familiars. Notice the darkness there, though. Maybe that darkness or that dark energy is going to travel through into the future, and you can use that dark energy to protect you. Darkness is very powerful if used properly, if harnessed and used properly. It can be a shield. If you can navigate through a dark room and know where everything is, where all the furniture is and whatever, and somebody's chasing you in that dark room, all you have to do is turn the light off and they'll just go straight over the coffee table and break the neck, and that's them finished. If you're able to navigate in the darkness, that's an advantage, that's power. But of course your luck will soon change from a relationship point of view. Will that be for the better or for the worst? Given the recent triumph over over the adversity or the adversary, which I sort of sense as yourself, or a part of yourself, or a part of the situation that you've had trouble coping with, I sort of senses that your luck will soon change, because once you acknowledge the problem, that's 50% the battle won, and you're sort of halfway there. It's the same thing, isn't it? And you're on the way up. And maybe between now and this time next month, who knows? Just who knows? Maybe the cat is there protecting you in the shadows, because the cat, of course, can bring independence as well, can't he? The cat can bring you independence and help you strike it out alone. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you've been too dependent on others, too dependent on maybe the other half, the other gender, as you would say, and now it's time to depend on yourself and your own judgment. Yes, very interesting, but yes, the only way is up. It looks as though things are starting to lift you out of this period, this dark period there. So for now, we'll cast a shadow, for these cards have now spoken.